Hello, everyone. Today we are going to cover topics like world population, world wealth, billionaires percentage, millionaires percentage, poverty and inequality. Before going to start, if you have any questions, please comment below. Thank you.
Percentage of people who have a net worth of more than or equal to $1 billion in the world is very small. According to Wikipedia, there were 2,640 billionaires in the world in 2023, which is about 0.0000033% of the world population.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The total population of the world as of mid-2023 was estimated to be 8.1 billion people by the Worldometer website Superscript 1. The total wealth of the world in 2020 was estimated to be $514 trillion by McKinsey & Company 6. If we divide the total wealth by the total population, we get an average per person amount of $63,457. However, this does not reflect the actual distribution of wealth, which is very unequal across and within countries. The percentage of people who have a net worth of more than or equal to $1 billion in the world is very small. According to Wikipedia, there were 2,640 billionaires in the world in 2023, which is about 0.0000033% of the world population. The percentage of people who have a net worth of more than or equal to $1 million in the world is also relatively low. According to Zipia, there were about 62.5 million millionaires in the world in 2020, which is about 0.8% of the world population. Superscript 1 squared. People are earning and eating on daily basis is a difficult question to answer precisely, as it depends on how we define earning and eating. However, some indicators that can help us estimate are the poverty rates and the food insecurity rates. According to the World Bank, about 9.2% of the world population lived on less than $1.90 a day in 2017, which is considered extreme poverty. Superscript 1.5. According to the Food and Agriculture Organization, about 9.9% of the world population suffered from chronic undernourishment in 2019, which means they did not have enough food to meet their daily energy needs. People are rich due to poor people in the world is another complex question that involves many factors and assumptions. One way to approach it is to look at how much wealth is concentrated in the hands of a few individuals or groups, and how much they benefit from exploiting or excluding others. According to Oxfam, the richest 1% of the world population owned more than twice as much wealth as 6.9 billion people in 2019. According to Forbes, the combined net worth of the world's billionaires increased by $5 trillion during the COVID-19 pandemic, while millions of people lost their jobs and incomes. Poor people are striving to be rich and struggling, but rich people are getting more rich to richer. Why is a question that reflects a common concern about the growing gap between rich and poor. There are many possible explanations for this phenomenon, such as globalization, technological change, tax policies, corruption, political influence, social norms, and cultural values. Different perspectives may emphasize different causes and solutions. However, some common themes that emerge from the research are that inequality is harmful for social cohesion, economic growth, and human well-being, and that policies that promote equal opportunity, fair taxation, social protection, and public services can help reduce inequality and poverty. Thank you for your question. I searched the web for information about the relationship between philanthropy and poverty, and here is what I found. Philanthropy is the act of giving money, time, or other resources to support a cause or help others. Philanthropy can have many benefits, such as improving the well-being of recipients, creating social change, and inspiring more generosity. However, philanthropy alone cannot solve the problem of poverty, which is caused by complex and interrelated factors, such as economic inequality, lack of opportunities, discrimination, corruption, and violence. According to a report by Oxfam, The world's 2,153 billionaires have more wealth than 4.6 billion people, or 60% of the world's population. The report also found that the richest 1% of people have more than twice as much wealth as 6.9 billion people. The report argues that this extreme inequality is a sign of a broken economic system that rewards the few at the expense of the many. It also calls for governments to take action to reduce inequality and poverty by investing in public services, taxing the wealthy more fairly, and ensuring workers' rights. Some philanthropists have recognized the need to address the root causes of poverty and inequality, and have adopted strategies such as supporting social movements, advocating for policy changes, and challenging power structures. For example, Warren Buffett, who is one of the most generous philanthropists in history, has pledged to give away more than 99% of his fortune to charitable causes. He has also supported higher taxes for the rich and criticized the unfairness of the U.S. tax system. However, not all philanthropists share this vision or approach. Some critics have argued that some forms of philanthropy can be self-serving, ineffective, or even harmful. They have pointed out that some philanthropists may use their donations to influence public policies, avoid taxes, or promote their own interests. Therefore, it is important to evaluate the impact and ethics of philanthropy, and to ensure that it is aligned with the needs and voices of the people it aims to help. It is also important to remember that philanthropy is not a substitute for government action or social justice. Reliable statistics on the percentage of natural phenomena as such rich or wealthy people who are very generous and giving away wealth to poor or needy persons. However, based on the information I found, I can say that philanthropy can be a powerful force for good, but it is not enough to end poverty or reduce inequality. Philanthropy can have different effects on income flow and poverty reduction depending on how it is done and who benefits from it. Philanthropy should be complemented by other efforts to create a more fair and inclusive society. One problem is that the distribution of wealth is very uneven and unfair. Some people have more than they need, while others have less than they deserve. This can create resentment, frustration, and conflict among different groups of people. It can also lead to waste, corruption, and exploitation of the environment and human rights. A possible solution is to create a more balanced and equitable system that ensures that everyone has enough wealth to meet their basic needs and aspirations. This can be done by implementing policies that promote social justice, such as progressive taxation, redistribution, public services, and human rights protection. Another problem is that the availability and quality of wealth depend on many factors, such as geography, climate, infrastructure, technology, education, health, and governance. Some people face more challenges and risks than others in accessing and using wealth. This can create barriers, disadvantages, and vulnerabilities for some people, especially those who are poor, marginalized, or discriminated against. A possible solution is to create a more resilient and inclusive system that supports people to overcome their challenges and risks, and to improve the wealth situation. This can be done by investing in development, innovation, capacity building, empowerment, and participation. A third problem is that the demand and supply of wealth are constantly changing and evolving. Some people have more opportunities and choices than others to adapt and benefit from these changes. This can create gaps, inequalities, and injustices among different groups of people. It can also lead to instability, uncertainty, and insecurity for some people, especially those who are left behind or excluded from the changes. A possible solution is to create a more dynamic and responsive system that enables people to cope and thrive in changing circumstances, and to shape their own water and wealth future. This can be done by fostering learning, creativity, collaboration, diversity, and democracy.